But to say the laws of logic are self-evident is ridiculous
Why is that?
because it's a claim that of the nature of a universal state of affairs.
Hmm.
How can you possibly know that? Why?
So,
Because you believe it?
right, no, because so you're asking, and I think Jimmy pointed this out yesterday, you're asking specifically, how do I corroborate my epistemology with an, a
How
decent
do you know
ontology?
that the law of non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
It's how, I think the question could be reformulated to how do you corroborate your epistemology with a
How do
decent
you know
ontology?
that the law of non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
Again, because time and space are not conceptions of reality, you could say they're conceptions of consciousness. So,
How
okay,
do you know that the law of non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
Yeah,
I
Chris.
was I was
Explain
answering the
that.
question.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, do you see my point, bro, Joe?
No, I don't think he does.
Do you, okay, one more time. How do you know that it is
Okay,
the case
well,
that the law of
gonna let me?
non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
Are you
Yeah,
gonna let
Chris, how
me
do you know that?
answer?
Yeah, we're gonna let you answer, Chris. Just go ahead
Okay.
and answer, because the more you do that, you're not answering. So go ahead.
Okay. So on a Kantian view, the idea is time and space are not necessarily things that
I'm not
actually
interested in
exist.
Kantian ideas. I would like a straightforward, clearly worded, non-obfuscatory response.
Okay.
How do you know the law of non-contradiction holds at all
I
times and
was
all
gonna
places?
give you my view on it, but
I don't care about Kant. I'm asking you. How do you know?
I know. I just said I'm gonna give you my view on it. I take a lot from Kant.
If you start to give me your pseudo intellectual
How is it pseudo-intellectual?
lecture, you're going to be ejected, and I'm
Yeah,
going to
Chris,
block
try
you
to
from
try
here
to be
for a few.
quicker.
You see, Chris, you're not fooling us, dude. This is what pisses me off because you know what you're like. Here's what you're like. You're like a teenager dealing with a parent, and the parent asks you a very simple, straightforward question, and you're not giving an honest answer. You think I'm stupid? I raised a number of children, Chris.
You did? That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd they turn out?
Okay, they're fine. So a very simple question. I don't want your little pseudo-intellectual philosophical lecture.
Well,
Answer the simple question. How do you know that the law of non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
put it this way, because time and space are constructions of consciousness. So if I know something that is inherent to my consciousness,
How do you know that? How do you know that?
oh, from an analysis of consciousness, from a phenomenological analysis.
How do you know that time and space is only a...
How, what? You cut out.
How do you know that time and space is only a mental phenomenon?
Oh, how it's only a mental phenomenon? I wouldn't say necessarily that it's only a mental phenomenon. It's
Chris, answer the damn question.
What did I just say? Was my
Okay?
answer not an answer? How do you know time and space is not or is only a mental
Answer.
phenomenon? I said I didn't necessarily think it
Answer the
was.
question.
How is that not an answer?
Okay, Chris, how do you know that the law of non-contradiction holds at all times and all places?
Well, that's a different question now. Okay. I've already explained that in some sense, but
Okay, bro, Joe, put him out of the room. I'm tired of this bullshit. Get him out of the room. Remove him. Every time we converse with him, it is the same BS all the time. All we're getting is this pseudo-intellectual philosophy, and he thinks he knows a lot about philosophy. He's a 17-year-old kid, and he refuses to answer simple question. He thinks by being verbose, he's offering a response and having dialogue. You're not having dialogue at all. You're not answering my question.
I can't actually find the chat. Tell me if you'd have to do it, because I can't find the chat where he's in.
I'll
But
just
while we're
leave.
doing that,
It's okay.
well, Chris, why don't you just we didn't hear a response to that. How do you know that the law of non-contradiction holds universally?
He will not answer the question straightforwardly. He won't do it.
Chris, why don't go ahead and answer? I'll give you a minute to answer. I'll put a timer on.
Minute.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay, the law of non-contradiction, how it holds in all times and all places. Oh, how I know that?
How has that been ascertained? How do you ascertain that knowledge?
Well, those are two completely different questions, but I would say the way I know it is because I intuit that I know it. It's an basic intuition of my mind, basic mental state.
Okay, so
Okay.
you don't know it then.
Of course I do know it.
No, you don't know it. You believe it.
What? How is that not
No.
knowledge? How is that not
Okay.
justified?
How is it? Can intuitions be wrong?
Certain ones can.
Okay, good. Then how is it the case that this intuition is correct?
Oh, it corroborates with my ontology that it is. There
Okay.
are basic
All you're
intuitions of
giving
the
us,
mind.
Chris. Do you hear why I'm getting pissed off at you? It corroborates your ontology.
I hear
All
that you're getting
simply
pissed
doing
off.
is, Chris, all you're just giving us is you're being wordy. All you're simply saying is my belief corresponds with my beliefs. Is it necessary if you say, oh, it corresponds with my ontology? Who the hell do you think you're fooling?
What?
All you're simply saying is you have a belief.
Right. That it
coheres with other things that you believe. So what?
Yeah. I'm not laughing at you.
Okay. I mean, seriously, Chris. I mean, don't you feel the least bit embarrassed that you're just BSing?
That's
I'm
the
not
timer. So I'll give
BSing.
You think I'm stupid?
Yeah. Chris.
I do now.
Okay, well, Chris, you got to explain that to me. You said you know it's a universal law applies because
No, it coheres with my ontology.
I don't think I said it like
No, what
that.
you're saying is,
Why are you acting like
my belief
I don't think
comports
so
with my
either.
beliefs. So what?
Dawkins,
Yeah.
why are you acting like a child?
No, I'm getting irritated.
You're acting like a
because
child.
Every time I converse with you, every time
hold
you
up.
behave like
Yes.
an ass.
Hold up. Let me give.
No,
let
I
me give
don't.
Chris, hold up.
I don't behave like an ass. You said I do it very politely.
I'm done. Listen, if you want to put up with this crap, I'm not. Every conversation I've had with Chris, it ends up the same way.
You say I behave like an ass, but okay. Oh my God.
Oh man, I wanted to put a 1 minute timer.